What if I told you that every delay, every setback in your life has a purpose? That the years you think have been lost can be redeemed, multiplied even, by the one who isn't bound by time. Now if you can, close your eyes for a minute and think about the moments that you've replayed in your mind, the missed opportunities, the paths not taken, the dreams you've sheltered because you believed it was too late. Do you feel it? That familiar ache in your chest, the questions that whisper, why them? Why not me? Well, here's the truth. And this is the truth that you need to hear today. God's timing is flawless. It may not align with our watches or calendars, but His plans for your life have not been delayed. You're exactly where you need to be, even if it doesn't feel like it right now. Will these dry bones live? A heart laments as waiting scars and patience bends. The years seem wasted, the promise dim. Where is my God? Was I not His? It's my desire through poetry to inspire and uplift. And if you enjoyed this extract from the poem, please stick around to the end and I'll share the complete poem with you. So today, right now, let's focus on one powerful truth. You haven't missed your moment. We live in a world that's full of distractions. Social media scrolls, highlight reels. Everyone seems to be sprinting ahead while you sit stagnant. Your attention feels pulled in a dozen directions, and it leaves you wondering if you'll ever catch up. But the rush of life isn't a mirage. What looks like progress isn't always purposeful. God isn't calling you to race toward milestones that aren't yours. He wants you to step back and to focus on His promises. So take this moment right now to block out the noise and breathe. God's plans for you are clear, steady, and beautifully aligned with His schedule, not the world's chaos. Think of someone that you trust deeply, a teacher, a mentor, a pastor, or perhaps even a parent. And what made their words meaningful? It wasn't just their knowledge, right? It was their steady confidence, their ability to see further down the road than you could. Now consider this. The Creator of the universe, He knows every detail of your life. He sees the tapestry from the beginning to the end, the heartbreak, the triumphs, the waiting. It's woven together so perfectly that no moment has been wasted. Scripture tells us, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, to give you a future and a hope." Jeremiah 29 verse 11. You can trust Him because He has the authority over every second, and His promises never fail. Have you noticed how powerful it feels to know that others share your struggles? There's safety in belonging, in knowing that someone else has walked the road that you're on. Friend, you're not the only one who has felt this way, stuck, uncertain, and questioning what's next. The story isn't just yours, it's ours. Together we find strength in one another's faith, hope in one another's testimonies. Around you is a tribe of believers who can tell you firsthand that God is never late. And when you lean into Him, you're stepping into a community of grace and understanding. You don't have to carry the weight of not being enough by yourself. Picture this. You're trudging through a valley, and each step is heavier than the last. It feels endless, but suddenly you crest a hill and the sunrise spills across the horizon. The colours fiery orange, glowing pink, soft lavender that turns darkness into light. That's what God's timing feels like. That's what God's timing feels like. It's not rushed and it's not delayed. It's the perfect moment when the weight lifts and what once seemed impossible becomes breathtakingly clear. Waiting feels hard, and that's because your heart craves resolution. But God doesn't waste the waiting. It's where He grows the roots of your faith. God isn't just redeeming your lost time. He's positioning you. He's setting you up for something that's more extraordinary than you ever thought possible. And do you know what builds trust? Vulnerability. It's admitting that waiting is hard, that comparison hurts, and that doubt creeps in when answers feel distant. I'll be honest, I've been there. I've had my moments where I questioned if God even heard my prayers. I wondered why doors stayed shut when everyone else's doors seemed to swing wide open. Have you felt that too? But here's the truth that brought me peace. God's silence isn't absence. His delays are not denials. Every prayer, every tear, they're stored in heaven and answered in His perfect time. And you can share your heart with Him. The fear, the frustration, He can take it. That's what He's there for. And He'll meet you exactly where you are. No perfection, just in your natural, raw self. He's waiting. Sometimes trusting God feels overwhelming. How do I surrender? How do I trust when I can't see the next step? Here's the answer. One small step at a time. That's it. And I'm working on that myself. I'm going through a faith journey right now. Because I like to know what I'm doing. I like checklists, I like routine, I like structure. And when you put faith into it, all of that goes out the window. But I'm learning that faith, again, is a substance of things not yet seen, but hoped for. So I'm putting my trust in the one that made me. He knows my beginning and He knows my end. And His promises are sure, as they are for me and as they are for you. So just take small steps, see what God can do. So today, just take 5 minutes and write down one thing that you're believing God for. Speak it out loud, because there's power of the tongue. And say, God, I trust You with this, whatever it is. And start small, because faith grows with every act of obedience. And no matter how tiny your faith is, like they say, having faith as small as a mustard seed, as small as a mustard seed can move great mountains. So again, remember, it's not about giant leaps. It's about tiny, intentional moments that draw you closer to the one who holds your future. So again, if you can, close your eyes and imagine this. You're walking confidently in your calling. The years that once felt wasted now make perfect sense. Each one stitched beautifully into the fabric of your purpose. You feel joy because you see how God has been working in every chapter of your life, in the hard ones, in your valleys. And others look to you and say, your story gave me hope. Your faith inspired me to trust Him. This is the future. This is the future that God's preparing for you. A future filled with restoration, joy and peace. Don't stop believing. He is able to do immeasurably more than you could ever ask for. And this is where it comes full circle. The distractions, the doubts, they're all vying for your attention. But today, choose to focus on the truth. God is for you. His timing is perfect, and He's working even now. When the temptation comes to compare or despair creeps in, take a moment to recalibrate. Speak His promises over your heart, because they're unshakable, just like the love that He has for you. So my final thoughts: God can make up for lost time. The twists, the turns, and the waiting seasons of your life are not wasted. They're threads in the masterpiece of His weaving. Friend, stop running someone else's race. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be in God's timeline. His timeline is perfect, and you will see His faithfulness. So take one step today and write down just one promise of God that you're holding on to. Speak it out loud. Declare God's timing is perfect and His promises for me are true. Share this message with someone that needs to be reminded, because together we encourage each other to keep trusting in Him. And most importantly, please remember that God has not forgotten you. Every moment of your life is known by Him. You are loved and you are bought back. You are redeemed by Him. You aren't late. You are exactly where you need to be, my friend. So trust Him and watch what He does in your life. Bowed in the quiet, a room of grey. The air feels heavy. Night crowds the day. Dreams lie buried beneath the dust. Hope turns bitter. Love feels unjust. Will these dry bones live? A heart laments, as waiting scars and patience bends. The years seem wasted, the promise dim. Where is my God? Was I not His? Yet soft it comes, as rain on stone. A whisper stirs, you're not alone. For I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper, not to harm, to hold you safe within my arm. The clock strikes twice. Its silent voice whispers of time, of holy choice. Though steps may falter, faith must climb. Your moment waits. His is the time. A spirit breathes where doubt once grew. A promise made, a life made new. For He who began a good work in you will bring it to completion too. Through tears you lift your trembling gaze. His word ignites a steady blaze. The fruit of waiting, heavy and sweet, is found when surrender lays at His feet. It was never delay, the heavens sing, for I make all things new in the waiting spring. The broken path, now paved with gold, His promises kept, His words unfold. Rise now, dear soul, it is not too late. His mercy renews as the dawn breaks. Your steps were ordered, your life designed, each moment held by his hands divine. The rain blesses where it once destroyed. Faith fills where bitterness left a void. The wilderness blooms, his glory shines. His timing is perfect. His will aligns. The clock strikes twice its silent song. The waiting years were not so long. For every tear he wove with grace to lead you here to this sweet place. Now rise, beloved, step forward, take heart. The author of life has set you apart. Trust in his promises, live in his light, walk by faith, and friend, surely not by sight. Lift your hands, surrender your way. Choose this moment, this time, this day. For those who hope in the Lord will soar. They'll run and not faint, forever restored. The call is clear. It's time to begin. Step into his will and truly live